Hello, and welcome to this peaceful journey through the divine touch. Before we begin, I invite you to take a moment to settle in. Notice where you are listening from and the time of day. Is it evening or late at night? Perhaps early morning? Take a slow breath and let your body begin to relax. If you feel like sharing, leave a comment telling me where you are listening from. I would love to know your time zone, your surroundings, or even the little moments that brought you here. Your thoughts and reflections help me make this experience even more soothing for you and for others. If you enjoy this meditation, consider liking and subscribing so we can continue creating gentle stories and sleep journeys together. And if you have any suggestions for improvements, for pacing, for style, or anything else, please leave them in the comments. Your feedback will guide the next journey, making it even more calm, immersive, and restorative. Take one last deep breath. Feel your body softening, your mind slowing, your awareness opening. And when you're ready, let us begin our journey into the gentle, philosophical world of the divine touch. Imagine yourself stepping into a vast hall, a space of quiet grandeur, where every breath feels suspended and the air is thick with reverence. The walls are silent witnesses to centuries of thought, prayer, and artistry. As your eyes lift to the ceiling, a world unfolds above you, painted with the care of a mind that sought to touch the eternal. This is the Sistine Chapel, and here the story of beginnings is whispered not in words but in color, form, and light. Above, the fresco stretches across the sky of your imagination, a panorama of divine vision. The ceiling is a tapestry of stories, each panel a quiet hymn, yet among them, one scene draws your gaze irresistibly, the moment of creation, the instant when life itself is given to humankind. Your mind lingers, captivated by a single gesture, a single breath suspended in eternity. Here, in this sacred space, all is still. There is no rush, no urgency, only the slow unfolding of a story that has existed long before you entered this hall and will continue to exist long after you leave. The silence is profound, but it is not empty. It hums with possibility, with potential. It is the silence that precedes creation, the pause that exists before energy becomes form, before thought becomes life. Your gaze softens as you take in the figures within the fresco. The artist's hand is evident in every line, in every curve of a shoulder, the delicate tilt of a head, the flow of drapery that seems almost alive. Light and shadow dance gently across the contours of the bodies, giving them the illusion of breath, of thought, of presence. It is not merely a painting. It is a meditation, a reflection of the human heart and its yearning for the divine. In the center, God reaches toward man. His robe, a cascade of rich reds and subtle golds, folds around him as though the fabric itself were alive, moving with the rhythm of unseen wind. Angels cluster around him, their faces serene, their gestures tender. They lean toward him, but their presence is not obtrusive. They exist to support, to witness, to honor the act unfolding. Their eyes are gentle, and as you observe them, you feel the quiet devotion that radiates from every corner of the scene. And there, in the midst of this divine assembly, Adam reclines. He is both strong and relaxed, youthful yet thoughtful. His body curves with the softness of life yet to fully awaken. His gaze is distant, almost contemplative, as if he senses the presence of something beyond himself. And perhaps he does, for the moment is sacred, the instant when potential becomes reality, when the invisible spark of life is poised to enter the world of form. Notice the space between their hands. That small, suspended gap is the heart of the moment. It is not simply a distance measured in inches, but a pause, a breath, a holding of time itself. In that space resides possibility. In that silence, life waits. The gap is perfect, for it allows anticipation to flourish. And as you observe it, you might feel a sense of your own breath catching, as though you too are part of this delicate suspension. The fresco does not shout. It does not demand your attention. Instead, it draws you in gently, like a whisper in a quiet room. Your eyes linger on the subtle details, the play of light on Adam's shoulder, the tender arch of God's hand, the soft expressions of the surrounding angels. Each element invites reflection, each gesture encourages thought. You feel yourself slowing, your own heartbeat syncing with the rhythm of the scene, your mind becoming still as you immerse yourself in this frozen moment of creation. Creation is not abrupt, it is gradual. It is the soft touch of inspiration, the quiet unfolding of a thought into form, the slow breathing of the universe as it brings forth life. And here, in the Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo captures that subtle, sacred unfolding. He does not show the explosion of energy, the thunderclap of beginnings. He shows the gentle, deliberate act, the quiet generosity of a divine hand offering life. Your imagination drifts further, imagining the cool stone beneath your feet, the faint echo of your own movement in the vastness of the hall. You feel as though you are suspended, hovering within the fresco itself. Time stretches. There is no past, no future, only this moment, the suspended breath of creation. You notice the textures, the softness of Adam's skin, the firmness of God's hand, the fluidity of the drapery. Each texture conveys a sensation, a truth, a feeling of existence in its most elemental form. As you observe, a gentle understanding begins to arise. Life is both fragile and resilient, tentative and assured. It is a gift and a responsibility. The fresco reflects this duality, showing Adam as both vulnerable and poised, God as both majestic and tender. And in this reflection, you might sense a deeper truth, that creation, in its essence, is a dialogue, a conversation between potential and realization, between the seen and the unseen. Let your mind drift further into this reflection. Consider the silence of the moment, the stillness of the figures, the space between them. This is not merely a physical space. It is the space of possibility, the space where thought becomes form, where energy becomes life, where the divine reaches the human. Allow yourself to linger here. Feel the calm that comes with understanding that creation is not hurried, that all things emerge in their own perfect time. Breathe slowly. Inhale gently, imagining the soft light of the fresco washing over you. Exhale, releasing tension, letting the quietude of the chapel enter your body. With each breath, feel yourself sinking deeper into the calm, into the meditative reflection of the scene. The fresco becomes more than art. It becomes a guide, a mirror for your own awareness, a portal into the serene rhythm of existence itself. Notice the expressions on the surrounding figures. Angels bend with care, their gazes focused yet gentle. Their presence reminds you that creation is never solitary. It is witnessed, supported, and held in the embrace of the whole. You too are part of this witnessing, part of the subtle web of life and consciousness. The fresco is alive with quiet energy, a rhythm that invites you to slow, to observe, and to simply be. The fresco whispers its philosophy to you. It tells you that life is a series of moments, each pregnant with possibility, each waiting to be acknowledged. That creation, whether divine or human, begins in silence, in attention, in the gentle awareness of being. And as you listen to this whisper, you feel the rhythm of your own life aligning with the rhythm of the painting, a soft cadence that carries you into stillness. Let your imagination drift deeper into the textures. Feel the smoothness of marble beneath your fingertips, the coolness of the stone floor, the faint, lingering warmth of centuries of devotion and reflection. Sense the quiet hum of energy in the chapel, the soft echo of footfalls, the hush of reverence. The space is sacred, not just in its architecture, but in its capacity to hold attention, to focus thought, to cradle contemplation. Now, allow yourself to float above the scene, gently, like a wisp of air, observing from a higher perspective. See the figures in their entirety, the curves of their forms, the interplay of color and shadow. Notice the light catching the edges of clouds, the subtle highlights on a shoulder, the gentle glow around God's hand. Each detail is a meditation, a soft affirmation of the quiet power of creation. Creation is not loud. It is patient. It is tender. It is deliberate. And as you float in this gentle observation, you feel your own inner creation aligning with the rhythm around you. Thoughts drift without force, feelings move without urgency. You are present. You are part of the unfolding. You are breathing in the silence before creation, letting it wash over you, letting it fill you with calm. And now, as you sink even deeper into this serene awareness, imagine the fresco expanding around you, encompassing your vision, your body, your mind. You are no longer separate from the painting. You are within it, a silent witness and participant, breathing with the rhythm of the divine and the human, suspended in the gentle space between possibility and realization. The silence is profound, yet it hums with life. Each detail, each line, each gesture is an invitation to linger, to reflect, to breathe. You are not rushed. You are not alone. You are here, in the moment, a witness to creation itself. And in this witnessing, you find peace, a sense of connection, a soft understanding that life, in all its forms, is a sacred unfolding. Here, in the stillness, let yourself drift, knowing that creation continues, always, in gentle rhythms, in tender gestures, in the quiet, infinite spaces between breaths. Let your mind soften. Let your body relax. Let the calm of the Sistine Chapel, the quiet wisdom of the fresco, and the suspended breath of creation carry you into deeper serenity. You stand again beneath the painted sky. The hush of the chapel surrounds you like a gentle cloak, soft and weightless. When you lift your eyes, they go first to the two hands, the point where everything seems to tremble with expectation. The hand of God and the hand of Adam, reaching, nearly touching, their fingers separated by a breath so small it feels as if the universe itself is holding it. This is not a moment of noise or motion. It is the instant before contact, the heartbeat that lingers between potential and reality. In that narrow gap glows all that will ever be, the spark of awareness, the birth of longing, the recognition of self. Look closely at God's hand. It extends with quiet authority, fingers alive with intention, yet soft, almost compassionate. The wrist turns outward, not in command but in offering. Within that gesture lies infinite patience, the readiness to give life, but never to force it. The energy that radiates from his palm is not thunder, it is light so gentle it could lull the stars themselves to rest. Now let your gaze fall upon Adam's hand. It rises lazily, almost uncertainly, as though waking from a long dream. The fingers reach but do not strain. There is trust in the gesture, a kind of serene surrender. The hand opens like a flower to the sun, ready but still innocent, waiting for the warmth that will awaken its pulse. Between them, the air hums. If you listen carefully with the ear of the heart, you can almost hear it, the faint resonance of energy preparing to bridge the divide. It is the sound of life being imagined. Michelangelo's genius is not only in the anatomy, not only in the perfection of form, but in the silence he has painted. The tension of that unclosed space pulls the viewer inward. It invites you to inhabit the gap, to feel what it means to almost touch, to be forever approaching connection. Pause here. Breathe in gently. Hold the breath for a moment, the way the fresco holds its breath. Then let it go, slowly, softly. Notice how even the act of breathing mirrors the rhythm between those two hands, the reaching and the releasing, the filling and the emptying, the offering and the receiving. Each inhalation is a creation. Each exhalation is a surrender. Between them lies the still point, the same stillness that lives in the fresco's narrow space. Imagine, for a moment, that you are that spark poised to leap between the fingers. You are not yet born, not yet defined, but you can feel the pull from both sides, the divine longing to give and the human yearning to receive. You float in the warmth of potential, glowing softly, carried by the breath of the universe. In that suspended state, everything feels infinite. There is no fear, no hurry, only a delicate awareness of being held. You realize that life itself is composed of such instants, the almost touches, the silent thresholds, the moments where energy gathers before becoming. Look again at Adam's arm. It lies relaxed upon his knee, the muscles neither taut nor weak. Michelangelo has carved in pigment the very essence of repose, the calm that precedes awakening. His hand, though passive, holds dignity, as if somewhere within him he already knows what is coming. And look at God's face, not stern, not distant, but intent and alive. His eyes meet Adam's not with domination but with recognition. It is as though he sees in the young figure the reflection of his own infinite potential, the echo of his own consciousness taking form. This is the mystery of the fresco, the divine gazing upon itself through the eyes of its creation. The two hands do not simply reach toward each other, they mirror each other. Each is curved in similar shape, each radiates the same energy. The space between them is the thin veil between creator and creation, a veil that trembles but never tears, for it is meant to remind us of both connection and distance, unity and individuality. Now close your eyes and imagine your own hands. See them in your mind's eye, palms open, fingers relaxed. Feel the subtle tingling in the tips, the quiet warmth pulsing beneath your skin. As you breathe in, imagine that warmth extending outward, reaching, just as Adam's hand does. As you breathe out, imagine the gentle current of divine energy moving toward you, meeting you halfway in that invisible space. In this way, you become the painting itself. You are Adam and you are the divine. You are the giver and the receiver, the spark and the vessel. The fresco ceases to be an image on a ceiling and becomes a reflection of the eternal rhythm of exchange, the ceaseless dance of offering and acceptance that sustains all life. The more you dwell in this awareness, the more tranquil it feels. The distinction between sacred and human softens, dissolving like mist in morning light. You sense that the act of reaching is itself a form of prayer, that every gesture of openness invites the universe to complete it. Let this understanding settle in you like calm water. You need not seek connection. You are connection. The space between your hands and the world is alive with possibility, and every breath bridges it anew. The two hands in the fresco, forever almost touching, remind us that creation is continuous. The spark leaps again and again, in every heartbeat, every act of kindness, every moment of awareness. And so you rest, watching the gentle tension between the fingertips, feeling it echo in your own pulse. The silence around you deepens, yet within that silence glows the quiet hum of life itself, patient, eternal, endlessly reaching. The longer you gaze, the more the space between those two fingers begins to feel alive. It no longer looks like distance, it feels like vibration, like the quiet hum that exists before music begins. Every atom of the air between them seems to tremble, waiting to become something. You realize that this moment, painted in silence, is not frozen at all. It moves, but its motion is inward, into thought, into awareness, into you. You can almost sense the pulse of energy rising through the fresco, flowing from the arm of God through the reach of his hand, pausing at the fingertip as if asking permission before crossing the invisible threshold. And Adam, in his gentle stillness, gives that permission. Not with words, not even with motion, but with receptivity. His openness is the gate through which creation passes. The more you observe, the more you feel that all creation begins like this. Not in effort, not in command, but in quiet readiness. A flower opens not by striving but by yielding to the sun. A thought arises not by force but by allowing space for it to appear. Life touches life when there is room for it to do so. Let your own body mirror Adam's calm. Loosen your shoulders. Let your breath flow softly in and out, unhurried, effortless. With each exhale, imagine yourself reclining a little more deeply into stillness. The way Adam rests against the earth from which he was formed. With each inhale, feel a delicate current of warmth approaching. A light that moves toward you from somewhere vast and benevolent. Perhaps this is what Michelangelo intended you to feel. That the divine does not descend with thunder or command, but approaches quietly, as softly as breath touching skin. The miracle is not in the explosion of creation, but in the intimacy of its delivery. Look again at the cloud of angels that surrounds the Creator. They form an oval cradle, a living aura. Some lean forward, drawn by the impending touch. Others look outward, as if to carry the spark onward through eternity. The fabric that wraps them seems to ripple like wind-blown silk, its folds forming curves that echo the shape of a human brain. A subtle whisper from the artist, hinting that consciousness itself is the true vessel of the divine. The thought drifts through you gently, that perhaps the divine hand does not give life to us, but through us. That every idea, every act of compassion, every spark of creativity that flickers within you, is that same current of light endlessly renewing itself. Breathe again. Inhale the possibility that the universe is always reaching for you. Exhale the belief that you must reach alone. Between those two breaths lies grace. Now let your senses widen. Imagine standing closer to the fresco, so near that you can see the faint texture of the plaster beneath the paint, the delicate brushstrokes that carry centuries of devotion. They are tiny waves frozen in pigment, each one a heartbeat of the artist who once stood beneath this very ceiling. His arm outstretched, his breath steady, his mind lost in the mystery he was giving form to. Can you feel his presence still lingering there? Michelangelo's hand, God's hand, Adam's hand. Three gestures separated by time yet united in purpose. Creation moves through them all. From divine imagination to human vision to painted reality. And now it moves through you, the observer. Because seeing is also a form of creation. Every time you look, you make the image live again. Every time you feel or you give it breath. In this way, the painting is never finished. It keeps unfolding through each soul that beholds it. Let that thought settle softly in you. Like dust in sunlight. Creation is not an event in the past. It is the quiet rhythm of now. Every heartbeat is a spark across that sacred gap. Every moment of awareness is another brushstroke on the fresco of existence. You may begin to sense that you, too, are painted. A figure formed of color and light within a vast mural of life. The boundaries of your body grow lighter, as if you could blend into the hues that surround you. You feel yourself becoming part of the ceiling, part of the stillness, part of the breath between the hands. The energy there does not hurry. It gathers, shimmering, patient. It knows that contact will come when both sides are ready, when giving and receiving are the same act, when creation and surrender become one motion. Now, imagine the spark finally crossing the space. It moves without sound, without flash. Only warmth, spreading from fingertip to fingertip. From one consciousness to another. You can almost feel it glide through the air. A golden thread weaving you into everything that is. It reaches Adam, and through him it reaches you. For a brief, eternal instant. Everything breathes together. God, Adam, Michelangelo, and you. All part of one vast inhale of creation. Stay there for a moment longer. Resting inside that unity, suspended between giver and receiver, between heaven and earth, between the beginning and the endless continuation of life. Let that sensation sink deep. It hums softly in your chest, a reminder that the same spark painted on the ceiling also glows quietly within your heart. The spark has crossed. It moves without sound, but you can feel it. A warmth expanding, a pulse that travels through the air and into the quiet of your chest. In that pulse there is recognition. Something ancient has stirred awake. For a long moment, nothing happens on the surface of the fresco. The figures remain motionless, the colors unchanging. And yet you know that within the stillness, life is flowing outward in invisible ripples. It spreads through Adam's arm, into his chest, through his heart, into the soil that cradles him, through the roots of the world. This is not only the creation of a single being. It is the awakening of connection itself. It is the birth of love, of empathy, of awareness that all things breathe the same air. The divine touch is not a command, it is a remembrance. A soft reminder that everything has always been one living body. Look again at Adam's eyes. They are open now, not wide, but curious, steady. There is a glimmer there, a reflection of the gaze that meets his. In that exchange, the line between human and divine blurs. Each sees the other and knows itself. It is an encounter of equals. Not in power, but in essence. Let that understanding drift through you. Creation is not hierarchy, it is intimacy. The universe touches itself through every act of awareness. Every thought, every kindness, every gentle word is another echo of that first touch. Michelangelo captured that eternal pause, the single heartbeat between nothing and everything, and he left it incomplete, so that humanity could live inside it forever. You are living in it now, suspended in the golden stillness of that moment. You can feel it in your hands, in your skin, in the quiet warmth gathering behind your eyes. You can sense the divine gaze upon you. Not judging, not commanding, only recognizing itself within you. And perhaps you recognize yourself in it, too. A being of earth and light, of longing and stillness, of reaching and receiving. The ceiling fades even further now. You are floating within the vastness of the fresco, surrounded by its colors, its shapes, its breath. The world has slowed to a whisper. There is no beginning, no end, only this luminous space of becoming. Let your body rest completely. Let your thoughts drift like clouds, their edges soft and dissolving. The divine and human hands remain before you. But now they seem infinite, a single gesture that stretches across all time. You understand, without words, that this touch never truly completes because it never truly ends. It happens eternally, within every act of awareness. It is the spark behind every heartbeat, the silent pulse behind every thought of love. You breathe in, slowly, deeply. The air feels sacred, not because it belongs to a chapel, but because it belongs to everything. Each breath you take is a continuation of that divine motion, a bridge between body and soul, between the dream of creation and the waking world. You breathe out, gently. The edges of the world soften even more. There is nothing to reach for now. The touch has already happened. You are complete, illuminated, whole. In the quiet that follows, you can almost hear Michelangelo's brush whispering across wet plaster, as though the universe itself is still painting you into being. The rhythm of that sound merges with your heartbeat. Steady, calm, eternal. You rest in that rhythm, floating between two hands that never close, in the soft golden light of endless creation. Sleep, now, if you wish. The divine still reaches for you, and you are always reaching back, even in dreams. The spark never fades. It only rests, waiting to rise again. With the first breath of morning, the fresco is quiet again. The air around it feels like the pause after a prayer, neither silence nor sound, but something sacred that holds both. The light in the chapel softens, as though it, too, wants to listen. You look once more at the two central figures, and now your eyes move beyond the hands. You see their faces. God's face first, stern, radiant, alive with motion. His gaze is not fierce, yet it carries the certainty of one who knows. There is compassion in that knowing, a calm understanding that creation is both gift and risk. His brow is strong, but his mouth almost tender, as though it trembles with love he cannot quite contain. And then Adam's face. So open, so unguarded. His expression holds the softness of a soul newly aware of itself. He does not yet know the weight of thought or the ache of choice. His eyes are steady, but they do not challenge. They simply receive. Between those faces lies the story of existence. The divine looks outward, shaping the world with will. The human looks inward, learning to see. Both gazes meet in the middle, forming a bridge of awareness. You breathe slowly, letting your eyes follow the curve of God's arm around the cluster of angels that surround him. His form is wrapped in energy and purpose. His robe flows like a current of wind, its folds swirling with the movement of the cosmos. Within that motion there is both order and mystery, mathematics and poetry entwined. Every angel seems to lean in a different direction, like thoughts unfolding from a single mind. They are possibilities, futures not yet born, ideas not yet spoken. God carries them within him as he reaches toward Adam. Now your gaze returns to Adam's body, and you notice how still he is. The muscles of his arm are strong, but they are relaxed. He is not reaching with effort. His gesture is effortless, almost hesitant, as if testing the new weight of awareness. His hand rises not to grasp but to understand. That stillness is the miracle. For in that moment, humanity is not yet striving to become divine. It is simply realizing that divinity has always been part of its being. Let that thought drift through you like soft wind through leaves. Perhaps Michelangelo meant to remind us that the divine and the human are not two ends of a ladder to be climbed, but two reflections of the same light. The divine gives form, the human gives experience. Together they create meaning. You can feel that symmetry in yourself if you listen. There is a part of you that imagines, that creates, that breathes life into ideas. That is the spark of the divine. And there is another part that feels, that wonders, that aches. That is the tenderness of the human. When those two parts meet, when creativity joins compassion, something beautiful happens. you become whole. The fresco shows this union in every line. Notice how the curve of God's body mirrors the curve of Adam's. One leans forward, the other reclines, forming a circle of movement, a dance between giving and receiving. Their shapes are different, yet balanced, like inhale and exhale, sunrise and twilight. The divine extends outward with motion, the human completes the circle with stillness. That is how the universe breathes. As you rest, imagine that breath moving through you now. Inhale, feel the energy of creation entering your chest, bright and warm. Exhale, release your effort, your need to control, your striving. In that rhythm, divine and human meet within you, one giving, one receiving, in perfect harmony. Now look closer at the background behind each figure. Behind God, swirling color, living motion, shapes that suggest both storm and light. Behind Adam, the soft green of the earth, the stillness of beginnings, untouched space waiting to be filled. Heaven and earth face each other through these two figures, but the boundary between them feels thin, almost transparent. It is as if the artist wanted to whisper that the two realms are not separate worlds, but two halves of a single heartbeat. Michelangelo was painting a moment beyond time, a moment that continues to happen within every soul that becomes aware of its own light. Creation, in his vision, is not a distant event, it is a continual recognition. Each time you realize your own capacity for kindness, each time you see beauty and let it change you, you are reliving this very touch. You are both the one who reaches and the one who is reached. Let that awareness spread through you gently. Feel the softness in your hands, the slow rhythm of your breathing. You are not apart from the scene, you are part of its living pulse. You are the echo of that original exchange, the quiet continuation of the fresco's eternal conversation. Somewhere, deep in the stillness behind your eyes, the divine and the human meet again. Not in struggle, but in recognition. Not in judgment, but in love. Look closely again at the faces. You can almost hear the silence between them speaking. It says, there is no distance that love cannot cross. God's face is full of certainty, of eternal awareness. It is the face of one who remembers every beginning, every breath that ever was. And yet, there is gentleness in his expression, as though he knows that power means nothing without tenderness. His eyes hold both creation and compassion. In them, you see no anger, no judgment, only patience. Patience vast as the heavens, waiting for humanity to awaken to its own reflection. Then there is Adam, so new, so unguarded. He is not yet burdened by history or by name. He is simply the first awareness of being, the first pulse of self that says, I am. In his eyes there is wonder, but also vulnerability. He looks upon the divine as a child might look upon the ocean, both awed and unsure if he belongs to it. That uncertainty is sacred, for within that vulnerability lies all human beauty. It is what makes love possible, art possible, faith possible. It is the open doorway through which the divine may enter. Michelangelo painted Adam's imperfection not as flaw, but as invitation. His slightly bent wrist, his languid posture, the gentle slackness of his fingers, they are all gestures of trust. They say, I am ready to receive. The divine, in turn, does not tower over him. God leans forward, not as ruler, but as partner, as though drawn by the same longing that lives within Adam. That longing, that desire to meet, to connect, is the pulse that keeps creation alive. You may feel that longing in yourself sometimes, that soft ache to touch something greater, to understand why you exist, to feel whole. That longing is holy. It is not weakness, it is the echo of the divine reaching back. Every moment of wonder, every quiet yearning for truth or beauty, is a continuation of that same reaching. The divine seeks you as much as you seek it. Pause here for a breath. Inhale softly, and imagine that longing as light within your chest. Exhale slowly, letting the light spread through your body. You do not have to understand it. You only have to feel it, the way Adam felt it. The warmth of becoming aware. Now, imagine standing where Michelangelo once stood, his eyes fixed on the curved ceiling above. He must have seen what we are only beginning to feel, that the line between human and divine is not made of stone or paint, but of love itself. Every brushstroke he made was a prayer, each curve of color a whispered truth. That perfection is not the absence of flaw, but the harmony of opposites, strength and fragility, will and surrender. Earth and sky, they do not cancel each other, they complete each other. Look at Adam's body again, formed with such care. His limbs are heavy with the weight of clay, but the light upon his skin gives him a shimmer of eternity. He is matter learning to dream. He is dust discovering consciousness. He is the bridge through which spirit learns the language of touch. And God, though infinite, bends toward the finite. He who could remain unbounded chooses to come near. He wraps himself in motion, in form, in relationship. In reaching toward Adam, the divine becomes human. And in receiving that touch, the human becomes divine. This is the eternal dance. One hand of the universe forming, the other awakening. If you listen carefully, you might sense that same dance within your own breath. Inhale, the divine moves through you, filling you with inspiration. Exhale, the human gives form to that inspiration through action, thought, creation. It is a rhythm as old as time, the very music of existence. Let that rhythm carry you deeper into calm. Feel your body resting, your thoughts loosening like threads in sunlight. You are breathing in the same pattern that shaped the world. Every heartbeat, every gentle rise and fall of your chest, is another echo of that sacred exchange. Perhaps that is what Michelangelo saw when he looked up. Not two separate beings, but one continuous current. A current that flows from heaven to earth and back again. Never ending, always creating, always remembering. And within that current, there is no hierarchy. No above or below. Only communion. The divine needs the human to be known. The human needs the divine to remember. Together, they form meaning. Together, they form life. Now, as you rest, feel that communion within yourself. The part of you that dreams is divine. The part of you that feels is human. They are not in conflict. They are the two hands of the same being, reaching for each other across the small, shining space of awareness. Breathe into that thought. Let it cradle you like a lullaby. Let it remind you that you are both infinite and fragile, and that both are beautiful. You were made of touch and longing, of light and clay, and somewhere, even now, the divine still reaches for you. Not from above, but from within. The chapel fades again into quiet light. You linger in the golden hush that follows recognition, when both the divine and the human have met, and everything feels tender, suspended, whole. The more you gaze at them, the more you sense that love, not power, is the true language of creation. There is nothing of command in God's gesture, there is only giving. Nothing of pride in Adam's stillness, there is only trust. They are united not by force, but by affection. The soft gravity that draws all living things toward one another. Michelangelo must have understood this. He carved stone as though he were freeing love from its prison. He painted as though color itself could be a form of compassion. Every curve of the fresco breathes kindness, patience, and understanding. Let that kindness move through you now. Imagine it spreading like warm light across your body, over your shoulders, down your arms, settling in your palms until your hands feel open and alive. That same current of gentle strength flows through the painting, through time, through you. You can almost feel God's energy as pure awareness, not watching you from afar, but glowing quietly inside your breath. The divine presence is not distant thunder. It is the soft whisper that says, "I am here, even when you forget." And Adam, his awareness is the mirror of that whisper. His gaze meets the divine and says, "I see you, and in seeing you, I see myself." That mutual recognition is love at its purest. Love is the moment the universe realizes itself in another form. It is the bridge between spirit and body, between eternity and the fragile now. When you look at someone with compassion, when you feel gratitude, When you offer forgiveness, you are recreating the scene of this painting in your own life. That is how sacredness continues, through human hearts that choose to echo the divine gesture. Breathe softly. Let your thoughts slow until they are as gentle as the movement of clouds. You do not need to reach for enlightenment, it has already reached for you. You do not need to become divine, you already are, because you are capable of love. Look again at the meeting of their eyes. God's gaze carries eternity, Adam's carries innocence. Between them glows a third light, awareness itself. It joins them the way dawn joins night and day, not by erasing difference but by blending it. You may feel that same light in the quiet center of your mind, a small golden flame that flickers when you are gentle, that brightens when you are kind. It needs no temple, no altar. It lives in the ordinary rhythm of your breathing, in the warmth of every honest word you speak. Michelangelo surrounded God with angels for a reason. Each angel represents an aspect of love, courage, understanding, wonder, devotion. They spiral around him like the colors of emotion swirling around pure awareness. And yet, when that awareness reaches Adam, it becomes human feeling. Messy, tender, imperfect, real. This is the divine's greatest miracle. Not that it can create universes, but that it can feel through you. When you smile, the divine smiles. When you weep, the divine learns compassion. When you forgive, the divine remembers mercy. Let that truth rest quietly in your heart. You are not a spectator to holiness, you are its continuation. You are not outside the painting, looking in. You are a living stroke of it, moving, breathing, becoming. The contrast between them, the eternal and the ephemeral, the perfect and the imperfect, is not opposition but conversation. It is how the universe learns balance. God, in his infinity, longs to experience limitation. Adam, in his limitation, longs to touch infinity. Together they complete the circle. Feel that circle turning gently within you. Each breath is part of its motion. Inhale, receive the divine. Exhale, give it form through kindness. That is creation in its simplest rhythm. Now the fresco seems to pulse with light. You can almost see the movement of compassion weaving through every line. It flows from God's eyes to Adam's, from the fresco into the world, from the world into your heart. Rest in that flow. There is nothing more to do. You are held within a balance older than time. A quiet meeting of spirit and flesh. A love that neither begins nor ends. The light has settled into quiet gold. The fresco no longer feels like stone or color. It feels like breath, like a slow exhale after wonder. God still leans forward. Adam still reclines. And between them, the world continues to glow. The motion never ends, it only softens into rhythm. If you listen inside that rhythm, you hear not voices, but presence. A hum that says everything is already complete. The divine gazes outward, seeing every possibility that will ever bloom. The human gazes inward, learning to cherish the single heartbeat that is now. They are two mirrors facing one another, reflecting infinity between them. You rest within that reflection. You are both the seer and the seen, the artist and the clay, the breath that creates and the silence that receives. In this stillness, awareness becomes compassion. You begin to sense that consciousness itself is an act of love, the universe noticing its own beauty through your eyes. Each time you appreciate, you complete creation a little more. Each time you forgive, you heal the small space between heaven and earth. Let your breath follow that idea. Inhale as though you are drawing light through the fingertips of the fresco. Exhale as though you are sending that light into the world. With every cycle, the distance between divine and human dissolves. The angels behind God seem to shift now. Their faces calm, their wings at rest. They have carried the spark across eternity. And they know the work is done. The gift has been accepted. Life is awake. Adam's body glows faintly with warmth. It is not the fire of power, but the quiet light of awareness. a glow that belongs to all who feel and wonder and dream. He is not a god in disguise. He is humanity learning that to feel is sacred. You can feel that same glow along your skin. It pulses gently in your chest, spreads to your hands, settles in the rhythm of your breath. You realize that this warmth is the real message of the fresco. The divine is not elsewhere. It is here, breathing as you breathe. Everything begins to blur into softness. The curve of the figures, the folds of the robes, the edge of the sky. The boundaries between color and air dissolve. The painting becomes light. The light becomes peace. Now there is only one motion left. The slow, eternal movement of love expanding. It drifts through the chapel, through the centuries, through the quiet of this very moment. You are within that movement, a note in the endless song of creation. There is no need to reach, the connection is already complete. All you need to do is rest in the warmth of knowing. Let your body sink deeper into calm. Feel the surface beneath you supporting every part of you. Let your breath grow light, almost transparent. Imagine that each breath carries a tiny shimmer of gold, the same gold that glows between those hands. It gathers behind your eyes, then fades into the soft dark of rest. In that dark, there is no separation. God and Adam, divine and human, become one continuous presence. The pulse of existence breathing quietly in and out. You rest within that pulse. You are its heartbeat, its silence, its peace. The world waits softly outside the fresco. When you wake, it will still hum with the same light. Until then, the creation continues, not as thunder, but as a lullaby. Sleep, and let the divine and the human dream each other. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the colors breathing. They are not still on the ceiling, they move softly, like ripples of wind over water. Michelangelo's fresco is not only a painting, it is a song made visible. Each hue carries a note, a vibration, a gentle resonance that hums quietly in the mind. If you listen, you can hear the color itself whispering. The blue murmurs of eternity, the pink sighs of awakening, the green hums of life returning. The gold glows with love that never fades. Together, they form a symphony, a harmony of spirit and substance, a music painted in light. When Michelangelo touched his brush to the wet plaster, he was not simply painting form. He was giving sound to silence. Every curve of color is an echo of the universe learning to sing itself into being. Imagine the scene bathed in the first light of dawn. The air feels sacred, cool, and endless. The colors shimmer, almost alive, as though each one remembers its origin in the breath of God. The soft pink of Adam's skin glows like the first warmth of sunrise. The rich blue of the heavens curves around him like a lullaby. The green that touches the earth beneath his body hums with quiet potential, the promise that every seed will one day bloom. And then there is gold. Not the sharp gold of treasure, but the gentle gold of inner light. The glow that lives in the space between God's hand and Adam's. That gold is not color, it is emotion made visible. It is the feeling of connection, the invisible warmth of love caught in midday. If you look long enough, you can see that gold pulse like a heartbeat. It grows softer and deeper, moving through the figures and into the air around them, spreading across the chapel, through centuries, until it reaches you. Now breathe deeply. Inhale the blue of eternity. Exhale the gold of compassion. Let them mingle in your breath until the space around you feels lighter. Michelangelo understood that color is the language of the soul. Where words fall silent, color speaks. A single shade of blue can hold the weight of longing. A single wash of rose can tell the story of awakening. A touch of green can whisper of renewal after sorrow. Each color, when seen in stillness, becomes a feeling, a vibration the heart can understand without thought. Perhaps that is why the fresco feels alive even now. 500 years later, it does not speak through meaning, but through mood. It bypasses thought and enters the body directly. Like music, like prayer, Listen again to the colors as if they were instruments. When Michelangelo painted, he was not merely decorating a ceiling. He was tuning the chapel to the frequency of creation. Each color he placed vibrates with the energy of a prayer. Each shadow is a pause in the music, a space for reflection, for silence, for breath. Notice how the colors never shout. They whisper, they glow, they breathe. They invite you into stillness rather than spectacle. They are not there to be admired, but to be felt. Now, let your mind rest inside the blue. Imagine yourself floating in it, weightless, calm, surrounded by endless sky. There is no need to move, no need to understand. Just drift. The blue is the divine breathing slowly. The pink is the human heart waking gently. The gold between them is their shared exhale, the sigh of creation itself. All of it flows together like music, soft, unbroken, eternal. And as you listen, you realize that the fresco does not belong to time. It belongs to the moment between heartbeats, the space between seeing and feeling, where everything is still, and everything is alive. Now, let your attention settle on the blues of the fresco. They are not uniform, not cold or distant, but alive with subtle shifts. Some are soft, like morning sky, hinting at serenity. Others are deep, almost infinite, reminding you of the vastness that exists beyond comprehension. Blue is patience. It is the hush that comes before creation, the quiet understanding that life unfolds in its own rhythm. When you breathe in, imagine drawing that blue into your chest. Let it fill your lungs with calm, and feel it spread through your veins like gentle water. Let it settle behind your eyes, softening the edge of thought, so that your mind can rest in spaciousness, unhurried, at peace. The pinks in the fresco hum a different note. They are gentle, tender, the color of awakening skin, of breath rising softly at dawn. Pink is vulnerability made visible. It is the gentle recognition of beauty in imperfection. As you exhale, imagine that pink light flowing from your heart to your fingertips. It reminds you that to feel, to be open, is to participate in creation itself. It does not demand, it only invites. And the greens, the quiet, nurturing greens, flow beneath Adam's body, behind the edges of the earth. They whisper of life and renewal. They speak of possibility. Each sprig of green in the fresco is a promise that growth continues, even after stillness, even after loss. Allow the green to anchor you. Imagine it lifting from the earth beneath you, wrapping you in calm assurance, reminding you that every ending contains a new beginning. Then there is gold, soft and luminous, radiating from the space between the divine hand and Adam's. Gold is warmth, connection, love. It is the quiet heartbeat of the universe reaching through time and matter. Imagine it drifting toward you, a gentle glow resting in the hollow of your chest. Breathe in the gold. Let it fill your awareness. Breathe out tension, doubt, and the need to control. Allow yourself to rest in the luminous space where divine and human meet. Together, these colors form a harmony unlike any other, a symphony that does not need ears to hear. It is felt through body, through breath, through the gentle awareness of being. It is a song of life unfolding, a reminder that every subtle emotion, every flicker of thought, is part of the same melody that Michelangelo captured centuries ago. Notice how the colors interact. Blue cushions pink, softening its intensity. Gold touches green, turning possibility into warmth. Red, used sparingly, hums beneath the other colors, a steady heartbeat of vitality, reminding you that life contains pulse as well as calm. Every shade, every gradient, every delicate shadow is part of a language that bypasses thought and speaks directly to the soul. As you breathe slowly, allow your body to merge with this palette. Feel the calm of blue, the tenderness of pink, the promise of green, the warmth of gold. Imagine them flowing together inside you, blending gently, turning your awareness into a soft, glowing light. In this glow, there is no rush, no expectation. There is only balance. There is only harmony. There is only the quiet knowledge that life, in all its forms, moves in rhythm with the universe. Michelangelo painted this not merely for eyes to see. but for hearts to feel. He captured the emotional resonance of color, the way light and shade can cradle the soul, the way pigments can hum with philosophical truth. The colors are not just decoration. They are meditation. They invite you to slow down, to notice subtlety, to feel deeply. They ask you to remember that beauty is not something to grasp, but something to inhabit, like warm air or gentle music. As your mind rests in this quiet symphony, you begin to notice how effortless the movement of color seems. Yet behind each shade, each careful transition, is intention, thought, understanding. Every stroke is deliberate, yet graceful, like a river flowing around rocks without losing its purpose. Let that thought settle in you. You are part of this flow, carried gently by the melody of hues, by the breath of colors, by the quiet intelligence of the painted world. You do not need to move. You do not need to act. You only need to rest in the rhythm of the fresco, letting your awareness expand into the soft light around you. And now, as your body softens further, notice how the boundaries between colors and air dissolve. Blue blends with gold. Pink hums into green. Everything is soft, luminous, gentle. There is no separation, only harmony. You are part of that harmony. Your awareness, your breath, your heartbeat resonate with the same rhythm Michelangelo captured. In this moment, you are both observer and participant, both human and divine, both stillness and flow. Now let the colors speak to you more intimately. Notice how the blues do not simply fill space, they guide it. The soft sky blues cradle the figures, while the deeper ultramarines reach toward infinity. Blue is patience made visible, the quiet understanding that life unfolds in its own rhythm, and that every moment of stillness is sacred. Inhale the blue into your chest, letting it expand through your ribs and shoulders. Exhale slowly, releasing tension and allowing the serenity of the hue to settle in your bones. The blue teaches you calm, teaches you to witness without needing to intervene, teaches you that stillness is as creative as motion. Notice the gentle pinks, breathing warmth into Adam's flesh. They are soft and vulnerable, tender in their presence. Pink is awakening, the first recognition of self and others. It is the color of a heartbeat, the soft pulse that reminds you of connection. Let it flow through your heart as you exhale, letting compassion and gentleness rise within you. Now, focus on the greens that rest beneath Adam and weave through the background. Green is hope, patience, and renewal. It is the quiet whisper of possibility, the gentle reminder that life continues in cycles, that even in stillness there is growth. Imagine the green lifting from the earth beneath you, touching your feet, rising through your legs, anchoring your awareness while carrying it toward light. And the gold, soft and luminous, radiates between the hands. It is not just color, it is the breath of love itself, the warmth that bridges divine and human. It rests in the hollow of your chest now, spreading outward like sunlight filtering through calm water. Breathe in that golden glow. Exhale your fears, your resistance, your need to control. You are resting in the sacred space where giving and receiving meet. Notice how the colors converse. Blue cushions pink, allowing it to blush softly. Green grows quietly beneath gold, letting hope shimmer with warmth. Every hue supports the others, forming a living, breathing tapestry. You are part of that tapestry now, woven gently into its harmony. Michelangelo's brush moves like a soft wind across the plaster. Every stroke carries intention, yet there is no force. Only flow, only rhythm, only patience. The painting is alive because it mirrors life itself, a balance of giving and receiving, of presence and openness, of motion and stillness. Let the colors now blend in your mind's eye. See the gold dissolve into green. Watch pink drift softly into blue. Feel the entire palette spinning gently around you, a carousel of light and emotion. There is no rush, no expectation, only movement, harmonious, infinite, serene. You are not merely observing, you are participating. Your awareness, your breath, your heartbeat resonate with the rhythm of the fresco. Every inhale carries the calm of the sky blues. Every exhale radiates the warmth of gold. You are becoming one with the symphony. This is the true power of color. It bypasses thought, bypasses worry, bypasses the need for understanding. It moves directly into awareness. It calms. It heals. It reminds you that beauty is not something to possess, but something to inhabit. Notice how even the shadows play their part. The softest gray, the faintest deepening of a fold, adds depth, perspective, and rhythm. Even darkness, when subtle and deliberate, becomes part of the song. It reminds you that every pause, every still moment, is necessary for the melody to breathe. Let the entire fresco now settle in your mind. Blue, pink, green, gold. All blending, all flowing, all alive. Your body, your breath, your awareness. Move in time with the silent symphony. There is no rush. There is only presence. There is only harmony. And in this harmony, you feel the echo of creation itself. You feel the pulse that rises from divine to human, from color to thought, from light to awareness. You are part of that pulse. You are alive within it. You are resting, glowing, floating in its rhythm. The fresco now feels less like pigment on plaster and more like a living breath. The colors move gently, softly, like waves in a quiet sea. Blue flows first, calm and deep. It wraps around your chest, your shoulders, your mind, pulling tension from every corner of your being. It is the soundless hush of eternity, the gentle assurance that all is well. Inhale it slowly, and feel it settle inside you. Pink rises next, tender and warm. It hums along your heartbeat, softening every thought, allowing you to feel peace without needing reason. It is the blush of awareness, the glow of compassion. Exhale slowly, letting pink settle in your chest. A warmth that spreads quietly to your fingers and toes. Green flows beneath, grounding you, like roots reaching into the earth beneath your body. It whispers of possibility, of renewal, of life moving forward even in rest. It carries patience, the calm understanding that time unfolds in its own rhythm. Feel it supporting you, holding you, so that you may release all effort and drift softly. Gold now drifts gently between your hands, your heart, your mind. It is not a harsh gold, but the warm glow of connection, the light that lives between giving and receiving. Breathe in the gold. Let it glow behind your eyes, behind your heart, behind your chest. Breathe out any thought of struggle or resistance. You are resting in a sacred space where divine and human meet, where creation flows endlessly, softly, silently. Allow the colors to swirl together now, like music without sound, like a river of light moving through your awareness. Blue, pink, green, gold, all blending into one luminous calm. There is no edge, no boundary, no need to hold anything. There is only the soft pulse of presence, the gentle rhythm of existence. Feel the fresco dissolving into you. Every shade flows through your body. Every glow hums within your heart. You are both observer and participant, both human and divine, both stillness and flow. Shadows fade into soft haze. The edges of forms melt into gentle light. There is nothing to see, nothing to do, nothing to become. Only this, the slow, quiet rhythm of life, the pulse of color, the hum of creation moving through you. Your breath becomes one with the colors. Inhaling blue, exhaling gold. Feeling pink and green flow softly through every cell. Your heartbeat merges with the rhythm of the fresco. Steady, calm, eternal. The chapel, the ceiling, the centuries of observation, all dissolve. All that remains is the luminous harmony of the colors, and you resting within them. And now, drift. Let the blues cradle you. Let the pinks comfort you. Let the greens ground you. Let the gold warm you. You are safe. You are calm. You are at rest. Sleep within the symphony. Let the music of light and color carry you into dreams as soft as whispered wind. The fresco hums quietly behind closed eyes, breathing with you. touching you with eternal calm, reminding you that the beauty of life is always within reach. Sleep now. All is still. All is light. All is yours to rest within. Close your eyes and imagine the chapel again. The air is still. The light is soft, golden, almost humming with quiet energy. Look upward, and there it is, the fresco, immortal and breathing. The two hands remain suspended, almost touching. Yet the distance between them carries a gentle promise. The promise that life, connection, and awareness are eternal. This is the moment the entire universe holds. It is not only about creation. It is about recognition. It is about the meeting of divine and human in every instant of understanding, in every act of compassion, in every breath of being. God leans forward, not with power, but with longing. Adam reaches without urgency, without striving, his hand lifted in the quiet courage of awareness. In the space between them lies the rhythm of existence itself, a pause that is infinite, a connection that is timeless. Breathe slowly. Feel the pulse of that moment within your own chest. It is soft, steady, gentle. It moves in and out like waves, like wind through leaves, like the calm exhalation of the universe itself. The divine touch is not only an event of the past. It is happening now, in every gentle gesture of kindness, in every moment when awareness reaches awareness, every time you see beauty, every time you give without expectation, every time you pause and notice. You are continuing the touch. Michelangelo painted more than a story on plaster. He painted the eternal dialogue between giver and receiver, between sky and earth, between breath and stillness. Every brushstroke is a heartbeat. Every curve is a sigh of recognition. Imagine the colors flowing again. Blue for patience, pink for tenderness, green for hope, gold for love. They swirl around the hands, around Adam, around God, until the entire ceiling becomes a living, breathing symphony. And now, that symphony flows into you. It moves through your body, through your chest, your shoulders, your fingertips. It hums in your veins, it glows behind your eyes. It settles into the hollow of your heart. Here, in this space, the divine and human are not separate. They are reflections, mirrors, one being expressed in two forms. You are part of that reflection. Every inhalation carries the divine within you. Every exhalation carries humanity into the world. Sleep now. All is still. All is light. All is yours to rest within. Close your eyes and imagine the chapel again. The air is still. The light is soft, golden, almost humming with quiet energy. Look upward, and there it is, the fresco, immortal and breathing. The two hands remain suspended, almost touching. Yet the distance between them carries a gentle promise. The promise that life, connection, and awareness are eternal. This is the moment the entire universe holds. It is not only about creation. It is about recognition. It is about the meeting of divine and human in every instant of understanding, in every act of compassion, in every breath of being. God leans forward, not with power, but with longing. Adam reaches without urgency, without striving, his hand lifted in the quiet courage of awareness. In the space between them lies the rhythm of existence itself, a pause that is infinite, a connection that is timeless. Breathe slowly. Feel the pulse of that moment within your own chest. It is soft, steady, gentle. It moves in and out like waves, like wind through leaves, like the calm exhalation of the universe itself. The divine touch is not only an event of the past. It is happening now, in every gentle gesture of kindness, in every moment when awareness reaches awareness, every time you see beauty, every time you give without expectation, every time you pause and notice. You are continuing the touch. Michelangelo painted more than a story on plaster. He painted the eternal dialogue between giver and receiver, between sky and earth, between breath and stillness. Every brushstroke is a heartbeat. Every curve is a sigh of recognition. Imagine the colors flowing again. Blue for patience, pink for tenderness, green for hope, gold for love. They swirl around the hands, around Adam, around God, until the entire ceiling becomes a living, breathing symphony. And now, that symphony flows into you. It moves through your body, through your chest, your shoulders, your fingertips. It hums in your veins, it glows behind your eyes. It settles into the hollow of your heart. Here, in this space, the divine and human are not separate. They are reflections, mirrors, one being expressed in two forms. You are part of that reflection. Every inhalation carries the divine within you. Every exhalation carries humanity into the world. Let that rhythm become your own. Slow, steady, infinite. You do not need to act. You do not need to hold. You do not need to move. You only need to rest in the rhythm of awareness. The angels above, the folds of robes, the subtle shading of light, they all pulse quietly. They are witnesses to the eternal touch. They exist in the space between hands, in the curve of Adam's body, in the energy that flows from God's gaze. And you are a part of it. Your heartbeat echoes the same pulse. Rest in this knowledge. Creation is not complete without recognition. And recognition is not complete without participation. The divine reaches, the human receives. And in that exchange, the world is born anew. Over and over, silently, eternally. Now, imagine the touch itself, not as a sudden contact, but as a slow, flowing current of energy. It is not pressing, not demanding, not urgent. It is gentle, deliberate, tender, like water tracing the curve of a stone. The divine hand extends, soft and luminous. Its fingers move through the air as if tracing music, as if drawing the very rhythm of existence. You can feel that motion in your own body, a gentle vibration in your chest, your shoulders, your hands. It is the calm pulse of awareness, the quiet exhale of creation itself. Adam's hand lifts, not to grasp, but to feel, not to possess, but to acknowledge. The warmth of this gesture spreads softly, flowing from God into Adam, from Adam into the space between them, and finally, into you. It is the same warmth that makes a newborn sigh, that makes a loved one's hand comforting, that makes the first breath of life feel infinite. Every brushstroke Michelangelo left carries this movement. The lines of flesh, the gentle curve of drapery, the folds of energy around God. All are conduits for this eternal touch. Even the smallest gestures of the angels whisper its presence. They are not static figures. They are the echoes of motion, the soft tremors of connection, the quiet knowledge that all creation is alive with recognition. Take a breath and feel it. Imagine the touch flowing down your arms, through your fingertips, spreading warmth and calm into every corner of your being. Let it travel down your spine, through your legs, into the soles of your feet, rooting you in the quiet certainty of belonging. The colors of the fresco enhance the sensation. Blue hums around the edges of the touch, like a soft cushion of patience. Pink radiates warmth, a subtle blush of love and awakening. Green grounds the flow, rooting it in life and hope. Gold glows gently at the core, the spark that carries the intention of the touch. You are not just observing. You are participating in the touch. Every breath you take becomes part of it. Every gentle exhale carries it outward into the world. You are both recipient and giver, both observer and participant, woven into the eternal rhythm of creation. Feel now how the energy travels beyond the hands. It moves across the fresco, through every figure, from God to Adam, through angels, through color, through form. It spirals, it flows, it dances in slow, soft currents. It touches the sky above, the earth below, and eventually it rests in you, fully, completely, quietly. Allow your body to soften further into this sensation. Your muscles release, your thoughts drift, your heart slows. Every pulse echoes the calm of the fresco. Every breath mirrors the rhythm of the eternal touch. You are weightless yet grounded, still yet alive, open yet secure. Michelangelo's art becomes more than paint and plaster. It becomes a living meditation, a lullaby for the soul. a demonstration of connection that transcends time. The touch is eternal because it is everywhere, not limited to the figures, the colors, or the ceiling above, but flowing through you, through every aware being, through the universe itself. Breathe slowly. Inhale the calm. Exhale the warmth. Let the touch sink fully into your awareness. Feel it settle behind your eyes, in your chest, in the hollow of your hands. The same space where golden light rests between the divine and the human. You are part of the eternal touch now. There is no distance, no separation. The divine reaches, the human receives. And you are both, flowing with the rhythm of the universe. Now, allow all the elements of the fresco, the hands, the colors, the forms, to merge into a single rhythm. The touch, the blue of eternity, the pink of awakening, the green of hope, the gold of love, all flow together. And you rest within them. Feel the pulse of the fresco as if it were your own heartbeat. The gentle movement between God and Adam mirrors your breathing. Inhale slowly. Exhale softly. With each breath, the eternal touch travels further into your being. It moves through your chest, your shoulders, your arms, and finally to your fingertips, bringing calm, warmth, and presence to every part of you. Imagine the golden light between their hands expanding. It spreads across the fresco, through every figure, through every curve of drapery, through every fold of shadow and light. It moves into the chapel, into the air around you, and finally into your awareness, filling you completely. This light is both divine and human. It is both giving and receiving. It is both infinite and present, eternal yet immediate. The colors support the touch. Blue wraps you in serenity, the quiet hush of patience and understanding. Pink hums with tenderness, the soft recognition of being alive. Green grounds you, reminding you of growth, renewal, and hope. Gold radiates warmth, love, and connection, settling deep in your chest and spreading outward, until every part of your body and mind is infused with calm. Allow yourself to drift with this rhythm. There is no need to think. There is no need to see. There is only sensation, awareness, and gentle presence. You are floating in the harmony of creation, held between the divine and the human, held by the colors, the touch, the energy of the fresco, and held within yourself. Notice how even the smallest details of the painting contribute. The delicate curl of Adam's fingers, the soft fold of God's robe, the faint shimmer of light across the angels' faces. Each detail carries intention, love, and care. All of it flows into you now. All of it becomes part of your awareness. All of it is your invitation to rest. Breathe again, slowly, deeply, in rhythm with the pulse of the fresco. With each inhale, feel divine energy filling your chest. With each exhale, feel human awareness radiating outward. You are both, always. You are whole. You are at peace. Let the colors, the touch, and the rhythm now become almost indistinguishable. They flow through you as a single, soft current. Blue, pink, green, gold, they are no longer separate. They are one calm, one warmth, one light. Every heartbeat, every breath, every subtle movement of awareness resonates in that unity. You are cradled in this eternal touch. Time dissolves. Space dissolves. All that remains is the gentle rhythm of creation, flowing through your body, flowing through your mind, flowing through your awareness, like the softest, most tender lullaby. And now, you may feel yourself beginning to drift. Not hurriedly, not forcefully, but naturally, gently, like a leaf floating on a quiet stream. The touch, the light, the colors, the rhythm, they guide you, and you rest completely in their presence. The fresco is not just above you. It is around you, within you, part of you. A reflection of your own ability to give, to receive, to feel, to exist in harmony with the divine and the human. Sleep approaches. There is nothing to do. There is nowhere to go. There is only the gentle, endless flow of awareness, cradling you, touching you, resting with you. Now, allow everything to soften completely. The hands, the figures, the colors, the golden light, all merge into a single, flowing presence. You are floating in it, resting in it, part of it, held by it. Feel the eternal touch travel slowly through you. It begins at the crown of your head, moving down your shoulders, through your arms, into your fingertips. It flows through your chest, warming your heart, settling into the hollow of your lungs, spreading through your abdomen, through your legs, and into the soles of your feet. Every cell, every breath, every heartbeat is carried by this rhythm, this gentle pulse of creation. Breathe with the fresco. Inhale serenity, exhale warmth. Inhale patience, exhale compassion. Inhale light, exhale love. With each breath, the colors swirl softly, blue, pink, green, gold, blending seamlessly into a luminous current of calm. The touch now becomes a quiet wave, lapping gently at your awareness, softening every thought, erasing every tension, melting every weight from your body. It is infinite, yet immediate. It is everywhere, yet entirely your own. Imagine the golden light resting gently in your chest. It pulses with the heartbeat of the divine and the human, simultaneously both eternal and present. It radiates outward in soft waves, touching every part of you with understanding, with warmth, with quiet, tender love. The blues hum softly in the background, steady and deep, like calm water beneath a bright sky. The pinks glow gently, tender and comforting. The blush of life, the warmth of being seen. The greens ground you, whispering of hope, renewal, and life's quiet rhythm. All of it flows together. A single, soft, luminous wave, cradling you in the eternal moment. Your body feels weightless, yet grounded. Your mind drifts without effort, like clouds dissolving into the sky. Your heart rests in the rhythm of the touch, and your awareness floats in the glow of colors, each one singing silently, soothingly, until there is only calm, only light, only rest. The hands in the fresco are no longer distant. They are within you. The touch between God and Adam is the touch within your own awareness. It flows through your being, reminding you that love, recognition, and presence are eternal. You are part of that flow. You are held. You are safe. You are complete. Allow the rhythm to slow even further. Each heartbeat, each breath, each shimmer of color softens into silence, into gentle stillness, until you are cradled entirely in calm. The fresco, the colors, the touch, they dissolve into one continuous, flowing light. There is no edge, no boundary, no thought, no need. Only serenity. Only presence. Only the soft, eternal rhythm of life itself. Sleep now. Sleep in the colors, in the touch, in the calm. Let the divine and the human rest within you, and let your awareness drift quietly, gently, into dreams as soft and luminous as the golden light between the hands. All is still. All is calm. All is complete. Sleep.